Hello and welcome to I Literary Can't Even. I'm your host Kyra and I'm here with Paula Gravo.
Hi, how are you?
And Lisa Hobman is joining us today too.
Good evening.
Okay, so I'm sure some of you who are listening will have heard of our lovely Lisa. Lisa is the author of many, many amazing romance novels. She's here with us today to talk about her new releases and the books she already has, and Paula is desperate to talk to her, so I'm just going to let Paula run with it and we'll take it from there.
Well, Lisa, I have to tell you, I was so excited when Kyra told me that you were going to be on with us, and I went immediately to research you a bit. The two books I read were Reasons to Stay and Reason to Leave, and oh my gosh, I love them.
Oh, fantastic.
So where can I find a Jason in my life?
Oh, wouldn't we all love to find a Jason? He's just, dreamboat.
Oh.
Unfortunately, it was all a figment of my imagination, but
damn.
I wish I could create him, especially, I do.
I was going to say, if you told me he's in Scotland, I'm moving right now.
If only he was. I'd be just up the road from him.
I bet. No, I was wondering, the one thing I wanted to ask you is that whole story, it was just amazing. One thing I noticed right off the bat reading it, the whole story just absolutely captivated me from the very first word, what they all went through. And you do such a beautiful job of describing your characters, and you feel like you've known them for a long time. And I can't say, after reading it, I'm like, I've got to talk to her. This is just amazing.
Well, that is absolutely wonderful. Thank you very, very much.
Oh, you're so welcome. It's just amazing, reading all of it. And I notice you're an animal lover, which we both share. So now you have a couple of dogs. Now is any of Rowdy in the story, is that based on any of your dogs, or is it just something you made up?
No. The majority of the characters that I write, including the animals, they're loosely sort of based on elements of either people or animals that I've known, or that I've experienced, and I think the character traits of the animals are usually little bits pinched from my own dogs, because they've both got huge personalities, so there'll definitely be little bits of them in there. Like the book that I've got coming out on Sunday, the dog in that story is actually based on my own dog. So that is one area, one story where I have actually based the canine character on a real animal, which is really quite good fun, because I know her so well. So it's quite good to really bring her personality across. But likewise with the animals in, because the majority of the stories I've written have had a dog in at some point. I'm a huge dog person.
That's awesome. I love it. That's the one thing I love, the description of Rowdy. I always crack it up, because it reminds me honestly of one of my cats that I have, who just won't let my husband near her. So it's like, oh, I can relate to it.
Yeah, that element of Rowdy was loosely based around a friend I had many years ago, and she had a dog who was very protective over her. So that side of Rowdy's personality was definitely based on that element of the character of that particular dog, and it was a case of you really had to get to know the dog before it would even let you anywhere near. So I found that quite terrifying, but quite endearing as well.
Yeah, like I said, it was the story was just amazing, and just the whole, I don't want to spoil the story for who hasn't read it yet, but it's just, like I said, I could not put it down. And to me, one of my favorite authors in the past was Danielle Steele, and she has that same element where you pick up the story and you think, okay, I'll read a couple of pages and go to bed. No. I actually read the first book in one, practically 2-3 hours, and then the second book, I read it, same thing. I just could not put this down. It was just such a compelling story, and I loved it. And I was going to ask you, since you have the other thing I noticed you're into singing. Now, I'm wondering, Is the character of Stevie based on Stevie Nicks? Is that where you got the name?
That's where the name came from, yes. Fleetwood Mac, one of my absolute favourite bands of all time. And I love the whole, boy's name for a girl kind of thing. And yes, that character name definitely was inspired by Stevie Nicks, because I absolutely adore the woman. I think she's absolutely amazing. But yeah, Fleetwood Mac are one of the best bands I think I've ever listened to ever. I just love them. So,
have you ever seen them live?
I haven't. That's my one big regret of all the bands that I would have liked to have seen. They would have been definitely at the top of the list, and I know they played fairly recently, or there were tickets on sale fairly recently, but unfortunately I couldn't go.
They're so expensive.
For some reason, I can't think what it was, but yeah, I was absolutely gutted, because that would have been amazing.
I went to see them, I think maybe 2 years ago. A friend of mine took me.
Jealous.
And
So jealous.
I have never been more in awe of anything in my life.
Yeah, I can imagine. No, I seriously can imagine, because the songs, the lyrics and everything about the songs there's just so much emotion there, and that's the thing I love about their music. It's you literally can just lose yourself in their music, and just to be there as well at a concert, that the atmosphere and everything. I'm so jealous.
It's goosebumpy. As soon as I recall they started a bit late, and the anticipation is building. You can hear it. But when those first bars started, and the first song they played was The Chain, and just this amazing ripple of goosebumps, and I'm just like, oh my god, this is happening right now. And as magical as Stevie Nicks is on the TV, you can't even understand what it's like to watch her. She is just...
I can believe that.
I don't understand what it is about her, but she is just magic.
Yeah, I can totally believe that.
And she's so old, and you wouldn't know. She just dances around in her massive heels, and she's twirling around in circles, spinning her shawl around and stuff.
She's tiny as well, isn't she?
She is.
Tiny lady.
I'm genuinely in awe of her. I think she's just an incredible person, an incredible songwriter. Yeah. I imagine sitting down beside her and having a conversation would be the most fascinating thing in the whole world.
Oh, I bet it would. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's one of those. When you think about your dream dinner party.
Oh God, yeah. She'd
definitely be on that list.
I would just need her, nobody else. She'd be fine. She'd be plenty.
That's hilarious. Well, I agree. And you know what she is? She's timeless.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a really good way of describing her. Yeah, definitely. That fits her perfectly, actually.
As I was watching the other day on our public broadcasting system here, they had Christine McVie, I guess, and I think one of the band members of Fleetwood. I was trying to think of his name. Not Fleetwood, but the other gentleman. I think Lindsey Buckingham.
Yeah.
They have a new album out, and I got to be honest with you, I love Christine McVie. She's wonderful, and she looks amazing too.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you something, Stevie. That it's interesting when these bands go ahead and split and they do their solo stuff.
Yes.
There's a reason that they have such a distinct sound.
Exactly.
It's every voice in there that takes. And honestly, when I heard some of their music, don't get me wrong, it's lovely and it's really nice, but it's not the same.
No,
you got to have those.
I think that's it. It's the nostalgia of them all together. I think it's the emotion and the nostalgia sort of all tied together when they're all on stage together.
Do you know what's fascinating to watch?
I know, I totally agree.
When you see them, when you see them anywhere really, but knowing the relationship between Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham, it's so odd to watch them on stage, because they talk even now openly about how much they hate each other. But when they're on stage, they're like best friends. You can feel, and even all these years later, you still feel like something is wrong. Like there is some cosmic mistake. They should be together.
Exactly. That's one of the saddest things I think about that band, is that the trauma and the experiences they've been through. It all comes out in the lyrics, and you think to yourself, how on earth can they all stand there singing this particular song when they know what it's about, and then when they've gone through it and experienced it, and they're just singing it like it's like it's about somebody else.
Right, and they sort of used the lyrics to even bitch at each other as well. It was all very, bitchy. This song is obviously about you, and now you have to sing it. Deal with it. And they still managed to get through it. I mean, there's some serious professionalism.
And they still performed these things together.
Yeah.
And managed to get through these shows without coming to blows very much.
It's astonishing.
I think there's definitely a synergy with writers and musicians because, even though you're not putting things to music, there's something there. There's a synergy there because when Kyra writes stuff, a lot of her stuff, when I see her quote stuff, you could make it into poetry or make it into music.
Aww.
It's beautiful. Your musical background too. So I don't know. Do you write music in addition to your novels?
I write lyrics, but I don't, unfortunately, I don't play an instrument, which is stupid of me. I should have learned when I had the chance, but I don't play an instrument, and it's something it's one of my biggest regrets. But the whole lyric writing, I've worked with several bands and several musicians, and the lyric writing is something that I particularly enjoy, I suppose, writing in general. So whenever I've worked with musicians, I've always ended up being the one who's sort of approached the other members and said, I've got these words. Either I've got these words, can you please make a tune up to them? Or they'll be playing something, and then all of a sudden words come into my head, and I'll write songs, as whatever band I'm with at the time of played music, and the words just sort of come to me. So I suppose it's just a follow on from the writing.
That's amazing. Well, that's a talent in itself, though, because I think, it's one thing the musicians can hear the melodies in their head, and you can hear the words, which is, that's...
I haven't said any of them are any good. you can actually listen to little bits of the band that I've been with for the last couple of years are called Broadman, which is a combination of my name and the surname of the other two members of the band, and we have a Facebook page, and we did a little bit of recording, which is something I haven't done for a very long time, but we did a bit of recording, and so there are little samples of what we recorded on the Facebook page, so you might have to check that out and see what you think.
I definitely will. No, I'd love to hear it. What type of music is it? Is it more rock and roll?
It's kind of eclectic. The music that I've been doing with Broadman is kind of probably leading more towards acoustic sort of. It's kind of folky, I suppose, but with a slight hint of rock to it, simply because it's guitars and then Ross plays percussion. Scott's the guitarist and Ross plays percussion, and then I'm the wobbly one, and then Scott does vocals, and Ross does some vocals as well. So we all sort of dabble and do a little bit of everything. But it's kind of I can't really think of which genre I'd place us in, to be honest. It's a tricky one. You'll have to listen to it and see what you think.
Yeah, no, I definitely would like to hear that. I'm always interested in different music. So I was going to ask you, since the two books that I read are like a sequel or a series, do you mostly write in series, or do you do standalone books? What is your favorite type of...
The majority of books that I've written have been standalones. The reasons mini series or duology, whatever you want to call it, is it's a bit of a one-off, really. It's something that I've not really written many books that have had follow-ons. I've got a couple of books that have then got novellas that are linked to them, sort of Christmas novellas or whatever, but no, the majority of my books are standalones. I don't seem to be able to, I haven't yet grasped the art of continuing a story without it sounding like I'm just going on and on and on. In fact, I did actually consider at one point rewriting the Reasons series and just making it into one book and cutting loads of it out, but then I thought, actually no, because I put a lot of time and effort and and love into writing it as it is, and so I might just leave it as is. And now that you've read it and that you've enjoyed it, that's just made my day. So I'll leave it as
excellent.
it is, I think.
Oh, do, because it really, I mean, I think if you cut any out, I think the whole story was just so compelling. I mean, I could see, to be honest with you, I could see that as a movie, because it's
wow.
the twists and turns of it it's awesome. I really loved it.
That's wonderful.
I told Kyra, I'm like, oh, I loved it.
That's so good to hear. It's funny because it's one of the lesser reviewed books of mine. The others of the standalone ones seem to have had more attention than that particular story, and I really, really enjoyed writing it, and I wanted it to be really successful and for lots of people to read it, but I don't know why it just doesn't seem to have had the reads that the others have. So I don't know what the secret is there, but
there's never any, I find, rhyme or reason to what people are into.
No, that's true. I think you get the very strong phases where you've got the sports romance, or you've got the rock star romance, or you have these certain genres or certain tropes that are really very popular.
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes there is no rhyme or reason to it. I agree with you there.
I thought that my rockstar romance was going to be the best thing ever. I was like, people are going to love this book. This is the book.
Yeah.
And it did well, but it didn't do as well as I thought it was going to do. And I was like, yeah, I don't understand this industry at all.
But this is the thing. It's a very strange industry, I think, to be a part of, and I think you've got to have a thick skin and a heck of a lot of patience. And you've just got to stick with it, I think, haven't you, until something finally will sort of really take off, and it might not be the one that you would put your money on, as it were.
Yeah.
But yeah, you've definitely got to have patience in this business.
Also, it's about having like massive, gigantic balls of steel, because I see people promoting their books like, this is the best book ever. Obviously they don't say that, but they promote it as though it's the best thing in the whole wide world. And I'm like, I can't do that. Anytime someone says to me, I'm reading your book, I'm like, I'm sorry, I hope you don't hate it. And that, I'm sure, is not right.
I'm with you on that, because I find it really difficult to big myself up, or to big up anything that I've done, to boast about it. Because I'm not naturally that kind of person. I think right. I'm not naturally. I don't even know what the word is, but I understand where you're coming from with that one.
I think that's why things like having a good support system is important, because I'll always share, especially with you, but I'll always share your books, because I know, even if I haven't read it yet, I know it's going to be worth buying. And that's what's really cool about having a good support system, when your friends are like, yeah, you know what, I've got this, you don't have to worry, I've got you.
Exactly. I think it's important, I think, in any walk of life, at any
Absolutely.
role, to have a good support network, but definitely in this one, because really, every time you publish, every time you hit publish, or every time you're with a publisher and they hit publish, you're putting parts of yourself out there, and parts of your personality, parts of your heart, everything that makes up you and who you are. You're putting it out there for people to judge and sometimes trample on, and that's a very, very difficult.
It is.
Because there've been so many times when I could quite easily have just gone, do you know what, I can't handle this anymore.
It's
I'm
hard.
just going to walk away.
It's really tough.
I love writing too much.
Yeah, and that's the thing. When you're really, when you're really a writer, there's no
switching it off.
No, you can't just go, actually, I'm done.
No,
it doesn't happen.
Not.
So whilst we're still sort of on the subject of music, can we talk about Nick Dacre? Because that's my man, and I don't care who wants to argue with me. That's my man. I saw him first, and anyone who wants to argue with me, yeah,
he's a good dude. He realises he's a good dude, I think.
Yeah.
I think to begin with, he's not that good a dude.
No, but
for example, if I was to write a prequel, I think you'd possibly hate him.
He'd be an asshole.
The way I wanted to write Nick was, there are lots of fantastic rockstar romance books out there.
Right.
But I wanted to try and come at it from a bit of a different angle. because a lot of the rock star romances and a lot of books out there are very sort of verging on sort of fantasy, this wealthy rock star lifestyle with the fast cars and the, and everything's just really ramped up. And I think I just wanted to go, do you know what? My rock star is a down to earth person who really sort of happened upon this music industry thing almost by accident, and he's whilst he's absolutely loved it and he's really taken advantage of it, all of a sudden he thinks, hang on a minute, what have I got for me? Where's my life in all of this, and who am I? I'm not just Nick Dacre, the multi-million selling rock star. I'm actually a human being, but I don't really have anything. Nobody knew him as him apart from his mother.
Yeah,
and his sister. Nobody really knew
and I guess
him.
His bandmates too, I guess, as well,
because they all knew the persona.
Yeah.
So I wanted to sort of have him at that point where he's on he's had his pinnacle and he's kind of on the downward slope, sort of questioning everything. And really wondering what on earth am I doing in this business? Kind of, that kind of attitude, and just to explore that. See where he went.
The rock star version of a midlife crisis, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. that actually is exactly what it is in a way. Yeah, it's him questioning everything and wanting something completely different to what he's had, and realizing that maybe being famous and having all this attention is probably not all it's cracked up to be.
Sure. And following Nick's book, you also had Cy and his story.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that was a book. That was a ride. So,
roller coaster.
Are there more books coming from this series too?
Yes.
Woo!
Definitely.
Who's next?
Chris is getting... Yeah, you see, I said earlier that I don't write series. I've just I completely lied, Paula. I do apologise. This recent Rockstar series that I've actually written, just ignore me. I talk rubbish. Cy, you've had Cy, you've had Nick. You will be getting Chris. Mm-hmm. Chris's story is in process at the moment. I've started it. But I've been rather caught up just recently since I've signed with Aria, and I've now got obviously got an obligation, and I desperately want to get these books done for them. So
sure.
The Rockstar Chris has been put on the back burner a little bit, but every so often I'm chipping away at his story and making notes, and because I know what is going to happen in his story. I've got the plan in my head. So you're going to get Chris. You may possibly get a Stig novella.
Oh, right on.
I don't know that Stig will get a full book.
Sure, that makes sense.
But he possibly will get. I might even do something like a Christmas novella or something for Stig.
That's a good idea.
A little festive story, maybe.
Yeah.
But you're definitely getting Chris. In fact, I have the photograph for the cover of Chris's book. When we were in Dublin for the book signing, was it last year?
It was almost a year ago.
Is it almost a year ago? Goodness me, time flies.
I know.
But I met this guy there, this model who was there with another author, Lisa, and the model is called, I think his name's Des. God, that's really bad, but I think his name's Des. And I saw him and I thought, good grief, he is Chris.
You came over to me, didn't you? You were like, look at him. I was like, I know, I saw.
Yeah, exactly. Because he was just perfect.
He was perfect.
So I managed to acquire an original photograph of him for my book, and I cannot wait to. I might just not write the book, and I'll just have the book cover made. Just
keep the picture. Can you tell us anything? Can you tell us anything about his story? Any little sneaky peeks?
He's let's put it this way. He is the master of disguise, is Chris. So that's all I'm prepared to say at the moment.
Oh man, what
all
a tease!
Yeah,
Oh, that's our tidbit, man.
You'll have to read the book in 5 years when I actually get it
when
written.
it's finished. Okay, so you mentioned your deal with Aria. So you've got a new book coming out very soon.
Very soon.
Very
Sunday.
soon. Very soon.
Oh,
Coming out on
that's
Sunday.
great.
So what can you tell us about that one?
What I can tell you about that one is it was originally published in 2013. It was my debut novel.
Okay.
It was then called Bridge Over the Atlantic, and Aria. I sent it to Aria, or rather, my agent sent it to Aria once the contract with the American publisher that it was with expired. I did contemplate self-publishing, but my agent just said, let's just give it a try. So she sent it off and got a response from a London-based publisher. And they said, yes, we like it. Can we have it? And can you also write us another 2? So I got a 3-book deal. And the book is now called A Seaside Escape, and it has a very, very, very pretty cover. I absolutely love the cover. In fact, I love the cover so much that I've now got a framed version. I told you I talk rubbish.
You could sign it as well, I suppose.
It's shutting down. But yeah, I've got the cover framed on my wall in my lovely new writing room.
Aww.
So yeah, I'm very, very nervous about it coming out because people have already read it, but I want to reach new people as well. I want to, I'm hoping that other people will pick it up and give it a try because it looks completely different this time around. So perhaps it'll reach a new audience, or perhaps people who've read it in its original state have, liked it enough to maybe tell people that it's coming out again. That's what I'm hoping for. But it's a very intense love story. But it has a hunky Canadian in it, and it has a very brusque, stroppy Scotsman in it.
Lovely
and
stuff.
It has a lovely curvy Yorkshire lass in it too. It has Ruby the dog, and Ruby the dog appears on the cover. Which is when I sort of gave the outline to the publisher for the cover designer, I wasn't expecting to actually see Ruby on the cover, but she's on the cover, and it's just I think that made me a bit emotional when I saw her on the cover because it does just look like her. It's really wonderful. I love it.
That's nice.
Well, I'm excited to read it because I've never read it, so that is very exciting.
I hope you read it and I hope you enjoy it.
Definitely.
It's the one I class as my book baby because it was the first one that I wrote.
Your
it's
first
the one
born.
that has a very, very special place in my heart. That book.
Now, do you ever come to the States to do book signings, or do you stick mostly in the UK for that stuff?
I haven't done an American signing. I haven't as yet been invited to do one. I was supposed to be doing one in Canada this year, but sadly finances just wouldn't allow, which was heartbreaking. But I mean, the thing is, I would never say never. That's the thing. It's something that if at some point in the future I'm well known enough and people want me there, then absolutely I would somehow get over my fear of flying.
I was just thinking about that because I know how nervous you were just flying over to Dublin. It was a big deal to just get you to Dublin. It was
yes.
It was hard work.
You remember that, don't you? Yes.
I do. I recall you being like, "Oh my god, I'm here."
I'm a little bit like B.A. Baracus. If you could knock me out and get me on a plane, that would be brilliant. I would be all about that. If I could just sleep through the whole flight, then perfect.
Lisa, how do you decide what signings to go to? How do you evaluate what's a good one and what's not, for you at least?
To be honest, it a lot of the time depends on if I get invited, because there are so many amazing authors out there, and you can fill in interest forms and put your name forward, but you know, people have got to really, really want you to be there sometimes, and certainly for the bigger signings, you know, you don't always get selected. But in other instances, there are certain organisations who I've signed with before, and that I would sign with over and over again because they're absolutely amazing, like the Hourglass Girls. I've signed at a few of theirs, and I would happily sign at anything that they organised. You know, if they organised a litter picking, I'd be my name down for it, because they're just wonderful people to work with, very professional.
That makes sense. Yeah. I was just curious how authors go ahead and decide which one is you know, a suitable one to do signings. It sounds like it's geography too, a lot of them.
Yeah.
What makes the most sense, you know? But no, I was just curious how that works.
So before we maybe attempt to wrap this up, is there anything else you would like to talk about or to promote before we wrap up?
Buy A Seaside Escape. It's flipping awesome.
There, so you did it. You did the awesome thing.
But did you notice the laugh and the fact that I did it completely tongue in cheek?
I did, but it's okay because you still said it, and that is even that is quite a challenge, I think. It's like...
Yeah, it is. But no, the main thing, I want people to read Greg's story because he's just lovely.
Okay, I will make sure I get my copy.
They're lovely. They're my book baby. And Ruby's on the cover. You've got to buy it because Ruby's on the cover. My dog is famous.
It is pretty. It's a pretty cover.
That's so sweet.
She's such a sweetie. Aww. She's completely loopy, by the way, is Ruby.
Okay. Well.
She's crazy. I was having this conversation with someone the other day that they also had a Patterdale Terrier, and this lady asked me, is it true that they calm down eventually? And I've had Ruby, 5 years now, over 5 years, and I can safely say no. No. She hasn't calmed down, and there's no sign of it happening ever, apart from when she's asleep. That she's quite calm when she's asleep, and that's the only time.
That's funny.
So, aside from being asleep and maybe giving her doggy downers, that's it, huh?
Yeah, that's it. She's really funny, actually. I know I'm completely digressing now, but I give them the dental sticks on a morning, the two dogs that I've got. They both have these dental sticks, and I'm the only person that gives them these dental sticks. And or as we call them, denty-ticks. Because we're just stupid.
No.
So when I come down on a morning, I'll say, "Do you want your denty-tick?"
Oh, too funny.
I can't believe I'm telling you this. And they go absolutely berserk for these denty sticks. And then when they've had them, they're both really chilled out. They eat them. I think they get themselves so excited about these denty sticks, and then they eat them, and they're like, "That's fine. I'm good now. I'm fine."
It's been awesome having you with us. Thank you for joining us. It's been amazing.
Lisa, you're adorable.
Thank you very much for having me. It's been brilliant.
And make sure you all look out for the new book coming up on Sunday. I'm going to hand back to Paula for all our contact details.
You can contact us via email at iliterarycan'teven@yahoo.com. You can find us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/literarycan'teven, and find us on Twitter at www.twitter.com/iliterarycant.
Okay, thank you very much for joining us, guys, and we will see you next time. Bye!
Take care.